Hey guys, Lucas Sacco here. Today we have a new format. There's a new ban list. You guys saw the reaction to that. There's new deck coming out in LEDE. But right now we're going to look at the pure Snake Eye deck, or even like the Kashtira Snake Eye deck. There's a combo in here for that, which just shows off like the best ways to utilize the combos. I'm going to show off some variants with just Link monsters and some with Jet Synchron as well. Before we get into it, shout out to my sponsor, Firstorlastgaming, link in the description. But to start off in the video, alright, this combo right here, this is like the main combo I see people doing going into the next format here if they're just playing Link monsters. This board actually utilizes an extra card that we weren't using in the last format that's really strong. But just get into the combo. You start this off the same way you do a lot of the combos. You go Ash into Poplar, and then since we have access to the Diabellstar already, that's going to get us original. Alright, so we're going to use Poplar to get us the field spell. It's going to maximize the amount of bodies that we can get, the amount of points of interaction we can get. Then we're going to place Flamebirds with the field spell this time. This is a little different than some of the other combos. And link one with the Poplar into Anima. Yeah, Link Rebo's gone, so we gotta make an Anima here. But we're going to Poplar, put itself in the spell trap zone, then summon out Diabellstar to place original. This is where the combo deviates a little bit here. We're going to play around Nibiru in a little bit of a different way in this combo. We're going to go activate original, sending the Poplar to summon Oak, and we're not going to activate Oak Effect. And the reason we're not activating Oak Effect here is because if we do get like Nibiru'd either here or on the next step, then we have the ability to like field spell, summon out Flamebirds, link away Flamebirds, revive the Oak. So that's how we're playing around Nib pretty well here. And then we're going to link away the Diabellstar, the Anima, and the Oak into Selene. And this has 3 spells for us because we have one with the field spell, one with Flamebirds in the spell trap zone, and the original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye. Doesn't matter if you have a spell to send off of Diabellstar or not, you have 3 spells in the combo. So that gets you enough spells for Selene. You're going to use the Selene, remove the 3 counters, summon back out your Diabellstar, and then we're going to make an Anima for 2, so 1600 attack. Now that we've made the Appaloosa, we're going to activate Ash Effect, sending itself and the Flameburst to summon another Flameburst from deck. And then we can trigger out this Flameburst to summon from the graveyard, summon out Ash and Oak. And now that we're safe from Nibiru, we're going to activate the Oak Effect. From here, we link 2 into IP because we haven't gone through that yet. And then we're going to link away the IP and the Oak into Princess, and then Princess revives something. This is the monster that we're going to summon that's new to the combo. We're going to link away the Princess and the Poplar, or whatever fire monster you summon from the graveyard, to make Pit Knight early. Pit Knight early is a really cool monster that they were playing in the OCG for quite a while. Not just in the Fire King deck, but in this deck as well. Because this guy gets a lot more value out of like a Princess than anything, and it also helps a lot when going into like a Snake Eye Ash, as opposed to Appaloosa just negating that one effect. Pit Knight early negates all of its effects. Pit Knight early also has a really important effect here that makes the monster that negates 0 attack. So this is kind of like your replacement for Link Kuriboh, with that getting banned. After that, we're just going to Flamebirds, place the IP in the graveyard, and this is it for the main combo. So you have Appaloosa for 2, Flamebirds to summon out IP with Pit Knight negate. So whether you activate the Appaloosa to trigger the Pit Knight, or you activate the Flamebirds to trigger the Pit Knight, you are going to get this disruption here. And then you also have the Princess in graveyard. So this is about 4 to 5 disruptions, and it's layered very well. Not to mention it also generates a lot of follow-up. This is the main combo that I've been doing, not just in this deck, but in the Kashtira Snake Eye deck as well. Alright, this is a little bit of a different combo. This involves using the Synchro monster still, so you still play Jet Synchron. And you go through this combo because you go normal summon Ash. Ash gets the Poplar, and then you special summon out Poplar to grab the field spell. This is the same in a lot of the combos, but next up we're going to activate field spell and place Oak like we're used to. We're going to activate Ash to send the Oak and summon Flamebird, and now there's our Nib protection, because if they nib us, then we have Flamebird summoned from the graveyard. Next we're going to summon Diabellstar, sending a card in hand to place the original, and we're going to use original to send the field spell. So in this combo you do lose the field spell, which definitely sucks. That card is very good. However, I think the pros of this combo are very intricate, and it does do quite a lot. So then we're going to synchro with Jet Synchro and Diabellstar into Omega, and we're going to activate Omega to rip 1 card from our opponent's hand. So we're already +1. We've taken 1 card from our opponent. Now that we've ripped 1 with Omega, we're going to activate the effect of Jet Synchron in the graveyard to discard Infinite Impermanence and summon back Jet Synchron. Then we can synchro for 2 into Formula Synchron. The Jet Synchron is going to get banished here just because that's what the card does. But then we have Formula's effect, so we are going to get 1 draw out of it. Just going to put Talents in our hands so we can demonstrate the combo. And then we're going to protect ourselves from Nibiru at this point by synchroing into Dispatter. And Dispatter is not only just like an extender here, it's also a negate on turn 1 because we've already banished 1 card from our opponent's hand with Omega. So if they do activate Nibiru, we can Dispatter, shuffle back the card from their hand that was originally banished, and then negate that. Then we can trigger the Flamebird here, which is going to summon out Oak, and any monster from our graveyard, and then we can trigger the Oak effect to special summon back the Jet Synchron. Now that we're here, we're just going to do some basic interactions here with the Dispatter and the Omega. We're going to Dispatter, summon back the Omega, and rip a second card from their hand. So now they only have 3 cards left, and then we can do the Snake Eye combo of linking 2 into IP, linking into Princess, summoning back Oak, and then using Oak to send the Princess. Summons back out the Flamberge, and now we've passed our turn with Dispatter, Flamberge, IP. Not to mention we still have Princess as an interaction. Our opponent's already down 2 cards in their hand. The only downsides to this combo, in my opinion, is this combo does lose pretty hard to cards like Mind Control, Snatch Steal, or Change of Heart. Just because if they take your Dispatter, not only do they have a negate to stop your board, but they can also go Dispatter, summon back your Omega, and then hand rip you with it, which is not very fun to go through. But that's this combo. I'm going to go into a little bit of the different combos that you can do and how you can still end up on some very strong end boards. This right here is a new variation to the 1-card combo. If you played Snake Eye before or watched any of the combos, which I'm sure you guys did, the 1-card Ash combo pretty much just ended up with a 3 Appaloosa, as well as Flamberge and IP. One thing to be really careful of with that board is that if you get Mind Controlled, Change of Hearted, Snatch Steal, Talents taken, the game ends. It's really hard to deal with it because you're having to play through your own Appaloosa, and that's going to stop all of your disruptions, your hand traps, and everything like that. But with this combo here, this combo plays through that a little bit better. So we're going to start with normal summon Ash and use the effect to add Poplar. Then we're going to trigger the Poplar to summon out and add the field spell. This combo is pretty much the same all the way up to this point. So you field spell, place Oak, Ash sending itself an Oak to summon Flamberge. Then we can link into IP and trigger the Flamberge and the Poplar effect to put something in the spell trap zone. We're going to summon out Oak, use Oak to summon out Poplar, and this is where the combo gets different. In the other combo, you're supposed to link away the Poplar, the IP, and the Ash into Appaloosa, and then just Oak send the Flamberge and itself to summon Flamberge, place IP. Here's where we change it. We're going to link away all 3 of these monsters instead into Princess, and then use Princess effect to summon out Ash, and then link into Pit Knight early. If they had Nib, they probably would have nibbed you before you linked away into the Princess, which is fine because you still have the field spell summon out Flamberge, Flamberge put IP in the spell trap zone. That's the same way you play through Nib in the other combo too, but this gives you a little bit of a different board to start off with, because this will help you play a lot through cards like Change of Heart and Mind Control with IP being chainable. And then Pit Knight is also still a very good interruption here for your opponents, like Snake Eye Ash. They would go to summon. Something that's really important here is this board is actually really strong into Snake Eye Ash and Kieran, with Fire King being a more playable deck next format, because they killed the better version of Snake Eye. It's important to have like known anti like Fire King, anti 2-card combos, and that's what this combo does here. For the last 2 combos here, I did want to show off some like Kashtira Snake Eye combos. This is a deck that did very good this weekend, and you'll see that Austin Collings or DB Grinder actually topped and got top 4 with this deck, and I think the only reason he lost to Cam in top 4 is because he did brick. His deck is really strong at going first. I think it would have been a totally different ballgame if his hand wasn't so poor. However, let's just get into the combo. We have Unicorn and Diabellstar in this hand, and I'll show how like this can play through so much. If you only open Unicorn and Diabellstar and you don't want to use any other cards, then you can go Unicorn, search Birth, and then normal summon the Diabellstar because it's a 7 with Birth effect, which is cool. However, I don't recommend doing that. I think that the better thing to do is just summon Diabellstar, sending a card in hand. It leaves your opponent, 1, scared of a normal summon, because you can go through your entire combo without normal summoning from here, or it's going to make your opponent not want to hand trap Diabellstar as much, which is great for us because we're going to set up a negate before we do anything else. The other option here is if you open Wraithsaw instead of the Unicorn, you can actually go Wraithsaw to get the Unicorn and then special summon the Diabellstar out by sending the Wraithsaw. Wraithsaw is technically a better starter in this deck than Unicorn is, but I mean, obviously Unicorn helps play through Droll a lot better. Either way, you end up at this point here. So you summon the Diabellstar, you set the original. Now we're going to overlay the 2 monsters into Draco Sack and use the effect to detach Unicorn and summon 2 tokens. Now, this is where a lot of people I have seen not do the combo as optimally as possible, because they then link into IP, and I think the Phantasme has become a more popular card for this format. So in order to play around Phantasme a little bit, you can activate Birth to summon back Unicorn first. That way, if they do Phantasme you on your next Link summon, you can at least rip their extra deck and make it harder for them to play the game. So after we summon back Unicorn, we can make IP Masquerena, and then from there, we're going to make a negate. We're going to link everything into a 2400 Appaloosa before we even activate Original or before we even touch our Snake Eye cards. Now that we have the Appaloosa, we're going to go Original, sending the Birth, because the Birth has done everything it's going to do for us this turn. Got us like 2 bodies and a face-up card, which was insane. So we're going to do that, get us to Snake Eye Ash, and then get Ash to Poplar, and Poplar adds the Field Spell. From there, we go Field Spell, place Oak, and then Ash, send the Oak to summon out Flameburge, and link 2 into Pit Knight early. Since we've already gone through the IP here, we're going to make Pit Knight early. This is just the way to get the most value out of your resources. Next up, we have Flameburge, Chainlink 1, Poplar, Chainlink 2. We're going to summon out Oak and Poplar. And the combo has so many bodies, actually, that instead of summoning back with Oak here, you're going to use Oak targeting your Snake Eye Ash to put it in your hand. So it's going to take away your opponent's option to go like Hida, take your Ash, because I mean the Ash is in your hand, but also it generates you extra follow-up doing this. Then we're going to link away with the Pit Knight early, and one of our monsters that we summoned back to make Princess, and then Princess summon out the Pit Knight early. It's important that you put it in this zone here, just for the arrows and how flexible you want your stuff to be with the Pit Knight early disruption. Then we go Oak Effect to send the Princess, summon Flameburge to this zone, and then we can go Flameburge to put the IP. So this is very similar to what you saw with the Snake Eye Ash and Diabellstar. It ends on the same sort of board as like the other 2-card combo. However, this one also ends with Flameburge in the Spell Trap zone and Ash in hand. So this plays through things like Dark Ruler much, much better. Alright, and for the last combo, this is what happens if you open Kashtira Unicorn and Snake Eye Ash. We're going to start with Unicorn, summoning it, but not activating the effect. Then we're going to normal summon Snake Eye Ash and add Poplar. We're going to use Poplar's effect to summon out, and then we're going to Poplar add the Temple. The reason you do it in this order here is to play around Droll a little bit, because if you go Unicorn effect to add Birth and you get Droll, you're a little bit sad. But this plays around Droll pretty strong. Next thing we're going to do is, now that we are safe from Droll, we're going to activate the Unicorn effect to then add back Birth to hand. And we're going to activate the island that we had searched to place Oak, and use Ash to send the Oak to summon out Flameburge. Now the next step for us is we need to figure out how we're going to play around Nibiru here in this instance. Really simple. In order to play around Nibiru, you're going to link away the Unicorn and the Poplar, and we're actually not even going to use the Poplar effect. We're just going to link it away, and then we're going to use Birth to summon back the Unicorn, and then we can obviously make that Appaloosa. So with that, we have the ability of Flameburge to summon out 2 guys, summon out the Oak, summon out the Poplar, and then we have Oak to summon back the Ash. This is where the combo gets a little bit different. We're going to activate Oak to send the Kashtira Birth to summon Snake Eye's Diabellstar. This is a new card that comes out in LEDE. This card says that if it's in your spell and trap zone, you can target another fire in your graveyard and then just special summon this card out. That's really the only text that matters on this card. It is important that it is like a removal effect in battle phase. When it swings into something, you can just put it in the monster it's battling in spell trap. But the main thing is it gets to be an extender by putting something in your spell trap zone. So now we're going to link away all 3 into Princess, which is then going to trigger the Poplar to put our Snake Eyes Diabellstar in the spell trap zone. So this is how we got the extra body we needed. Then we can go Princess effect to summon out the Flameburge, and Snake Eyes Diabellstar to put Snake Eyes Oak in the spell trap, and then we can link 2 to Pit Knight and Flameburge to put the IP in the spell trap zone. So this is some of the combos that I have seen going around for the new format. Really big fan of a lot of the ones I showed off here. That's going to be the end of this video, but I do really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic day.